Okay, guys, we're here today on the BJJ Fanatics podcast. I have here with me as a guest Pete the Greek, Jeff Glover, Michael. So, guys, huge honor to have you both here with us. Such a pleasure. Every time you come here, Jeff and also Pete, it's always fun. You guys are always joking and this and that. And also Jiu-Jitsu as well. So far, we have done Pete the Greek has done one wrist lock instructional video with BJJ Fanatics. Jeff has done one omoplata instructional, one triangle instructional, one deep heifer, and one Dars. We haven't launched yet, but maybe by the time you guys are listening, we have already launched. But thanks so much for being here. Yeah. So guys, we're just planning a project here. Can you explain a little more, Jeff?
Well, I used to do Glover's Travels, which was received pretty well by the jiu-jitsu community. I still get messages about people asking me, bring back Glover's Travels, come to this school, go to this place. And this was over 10 years ago now that we did this. So yeah, so Pete and I have been friends and traveling and doing jiu-jitsu together for at least the last 5 years now or so, right? At least. And I think, I was thinking that, man, I wish we documented a lot of these trips that we've gone on because it's some funny stuff. The shit me and this guy get into it's really unbelievable. And, on top of that, there is good jiu-jitsu content. And, Pete and I are friends with every association in jiu-jitsu. Whether it's Gracie Baja, Humaita, 10th Planet, Atos, Paragon, Victory, every jiu-jitsu association seems to be cool with Pete and I.
Everybody likes you.
As far as I can tell. And I thought it would be a good idea to kind of revamp that concept, but with Pete and I.
Got it, man. That's awesome. No, we're super excited. We're thinking about doing a BJJ Fanatics Pete. What was the
Glover and the Greek?
Glover and the
BJJ
Greek.
Fanatics presents Glover and the Greek.
Yeah, and where we're gonna have both of them traveling around United States and around the world as well, visiting the schools and this and that, and hanging out with them is such a fun thing that
You're gonna be lucky if they come to your school.
Yeah. No, but anyways. But Jeff, we were talking earlier here today, and I want to ask this question here in the podcast as well. What goes on your mind when you are competing, and you turn backwards to your opponent? How do you get so confident to do that kind of style? It makes you one of the most enthusiastic athletes to watch, but how did you develop that? What goes on your mind?
I have to give credit to Frangia, my jiu-jitsu teacher. He spent a lot of time in my first 2 to 3 years of jiu-jitsu really focusing on my defense and my escape. And it got to the point where I honestly believe my defense was much better than my attacks. The thing about the defense is you don't see it as much as you see the attacks. When you see a flying submission, it's pretty easy to detect and see what that was. But when you see me close my elbows to defend an underhook, or fight a wrist control so you don't get wrist control, or duck my head under whenever you try to collar tie me, you don't really notice those things as much. And I think that I'm not really known as a defensive fighter, but that's what makes me so confident, is that I'm positive that my defense is some of the best in the world, especially when I was competing 10 years ago. And the confidence that came from my defense, knowing that whatever position you put me in, even if I turn my back to you, you might jump on my back and put in the hooks and go for a rear naked choke. I knew that I would not only escape your back control on me, I would escape and then reverse it and tap you out. And that came from the confidence that I had, because I knew how much time I spent practicing defense and how much time Frangia spent making sure that I could escape every position into a better position. So with all that in mind, you can go out there and be pretty, carefree. And,
Got it.
I had a lot of success with that.
It's funny, 'cause I would say that the competitor that you most remind me of would be, say, Gary Tonin.
Yeah.
Whenever you guys are out there, it's always a thrill a minute. And Gary was just here, and he actually did a program with us on defense. And the thing about it is that whether it's you or whether it's Gary, it's going to be an exciting match. And you're going to be trying a ton of stuff. And when we asked him, what is it that gives you so much confidence, it was the same answer. Wow. It's his defense. And so, it's sort of like a lost art.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, and then you were also saying like not only the defense and the escapes, but your deep half guard too, right? Like
That's right. Yeah, the it's my go-to. Whenever something flashy, some cool jumping move fails and it doesn't work, I can always fall back on my deep half guard. I just lay on my back, open up the mount, and when you try to mount me, I go into my deep half guard. And it's like I have so much confidence with that I can get away with a lot of stuff. And I don't, you know, man, you do deep half guard. Not a lot of people use deep half guard.
I agree.
You show it to a lot of people and they just like, they roll their eyes at you. Like, I don't want to do that. And you're like, okay, I've been telling you this helps me a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I think half guard, there is like until you get good on half guard, there is a phase that a lot of people give up because you're gonna deal with pressure, right? If they put the shoulder in your face until you develop like the deep half guard. So, and I think that's the phase that a lot of people give up. So it's easier like to play close guards, play spider guard. You can frame the person, you can keep the person.
It's like that half guard that Lucas Lech does.
Yeah.
Once I learned that and was able to combine that with the deep half guard, it was like whenever things went bad, I would get to that position, and then it was not bad anymore.
No, I got it. And Pete, tell us a little more about you. Like, so I shot a YouTube video of you another day, and you showed me like 30, 40, I don't even know how it was that. Wristwatch from every single position.
I got my socks.
Pete the Greek socks, bro. Available at PeteTheGreek.com.
No, I've never sold any gear. It was Showy Roll made me some stuff. My friends made me this.
Shout out
and
to
I just kept it all.
Splurgio from San
Keep
Diego.
it and give it to friends. So.
Oh my god.
My tattoo artist, the guy who did all my tattoos on my right arm, drew this.
He's a black belt from Barrett
Does
Yoshida.
Splurgio need any work? After the podcast, send us Splurgio's ideas.
Oh, dude,
He actually does donkey guard.
He has his own guard.
It's
cool. He's got a cool style. You guys should get a hold of him.
Isn't Donkey Guard you?
It's not donkey guard. Don't listen to Pete.
he calls it inverted.
Pete, take it easy, bro.
Okay.
Don't be telling.
But he's a
people
good
shit
artist,
like
and
that. It's not shit. It's not his shit. He's got his own thing. He doesn't call it donkey guard. He calls it like inverted side mount or something like that.
Because one of the things about your show is going to be you two arguing, so this is going to be great stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
we've only been around each other today, by day 3.
You guys are totally on each other's.
I hit Pete in the dick already, so full on dick shot.
The hard part's when, like, if we and we're in a hotel or something, he waits till I fall asleep, and then I wake up with this monkey on my back right here.
Oh,
he's not easy to get off.
No.
You wake up and he's got you in a rear naked choke.
That's a problem.
It's a problem.
See, Pete waits till I'm hurt.
I wait till he's hurt.
I had pulled my back
He waits
out.
till I'm sleeping.
You ever hurt your lower back and he's like you can't sit up, and you just want to lay down. You just want to lay down. So I was on bed for like 2 days, and Pete decided this was a good time to come and attack me.
Nice.
He was mad about something and he came and laid on me and like smacked me a few times in the bed. You're so lucky that I like forgive you and can move past things, bro.
When I was in a bad car accident, I had a back surgery, and I went to Glover's house. He's so nice.
I took care of Pete.
He slept on. What did you sleep on?
I slept on the couch.
On the not even the couch. It was like the recliner. He gave me his bed for like 4 months. And his girlfriend would get mad because she's like, "What do you mean? Pete gets our bed?"
She wasn't my girlfriend, dog. She was just a friend.
She was a girl. She was a friend. And I started doing wrist locks, Bernardo, with Oswaldo Alves. I lived in a little gym over there in Rio de Janeiro, and a lot of us learned wrist locks, but I had some injuries to my back and stuff, so wrist locks were perfect for me because they don't require much movement. A lot of the moves Glover does, like, he gets to jump around. Me, I just grab her. So it's less movement. It's more of an old man move. And so maybe a lot of people know them, but I stuck with them. I think about 17 years of wrist locks every day. So that's...
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and I know that everybody from Oswaldo is very well known for that, right? I trained for Little Wyoming in Las Vegas, Sergio Peña.
Yeah, he's
and
good.
He was like a huge
He knows a lot of them.
And he knows a lot about wrist locks and that. And I heard that Fredson Paixão was really good on that.
We might shout out
Fredson. Shout out Fredson Paixão. That's our dude right there.
Fredson wants us to come visit.
This place.
Yeah, he wants to do a seminar in Vegas or something. But
cool. Fredson
taught Jacare a lot, I guess, in the early days. And Jacare actually trained with you guys, right? Over there.
When I was a brown belt, Jacare stayed for 3 months in a city called Santa Maria. And somehow my friend Corby was paying him a lot of money, and I got to train with Jacare like every day for 3 months when I was a brown belt.
Really? How was that?
It was cool, man. He was like in his prime. He had just won Abu Dhabi and Worlds and all this. Wow. And I was like, whoa, I'm training with this guy. Like, I have a few pictures from those days, man. It was really cool stuff. Amazing. I mean, he was so advanced. I remember like as a brown belt, he would demonstrate the move and explain it, and I just didn't understand it, dude. I think now as I'm like almost a 4th degree black belt, I can learn new concepts pretty fast. Within explain it a few times, I pretty much got it and can use it right away. But back then, a lot of stuff went in one ear and out the other, and I think a lot of the stuff Jacare tried to teach me, I just was either too weak or not smart enough to learn it. But you get like an energy from people, man. I got a lot from just being in his presence, you know. He's the man. Shout out Jacare.
Yeah. He's a guy that I never rode or competed with, but I always wanted because I wanted to feel that pressure. Like he was so aggressive and.
I trained with him in Rio. It was scary. It's like someone because he has that judo.
Such good stand-up. Yeah,
like it's not scary once you hit the ground, but on the feet it's scary because this guy can hurt someone.
He's got a crazy look on his face.
It's scary training with them. Like you're like, all right, dude. And even doing like drills with him, like he's very intense.
He likes to put hot sauce. We went to get fast food one time, and he got like a burger, and he was like, hot sauce. And I was like, the lady, she was like, what? And I was like, no, he means ketchup. He's from Brazil, don't worry about it. They say ketchup, I don't know, they mix that up. And he was like, no, Jeff, I want hot sauce. And I was like, Jacare, shut up, dog. You don't put hot sauce on burgers. He wanted to put hot sauce on a burger, and I was like, he wants ketchup. So the lady gave us ketchup, and he's digging through that bag, and he's like, Jeff, where's a hot sauce? Where's the hot sauce? I don't like ketchup. And I was like, damn, he really wants to put hot sauce on his hamburger. Yeah, and he was mad at me about that. I'll never forget that shit. I was like, all right, man. I like hot sauce.
Speaking of restaurants, Pete, as a Greek guy, you must have grown up.
I'm Greek and Sicilian, so both sides of my family. My grandma was the first woman in Chicago to have like a restaurant. She had Leona's Pizza.
Because basically, I know a lot of Greek families and they all have restaurants.
And my dad's hot dogs. So my dad was the first person to have gyros in Chicago. He heard about it in New York.
Chicago's so well known for the hot dogs.
Yeah, we had like 13 hot dog stands growing up.
Really?
Not stands, little restaurants. But my dad sold and moved back to Greece.
Really?
He's like, you don't want nothing. You want jiu-jitsu. And he just left. And
Pete likes the really big hot dogs, though. Like the foot long.
The good ones? No, Glover.
He doesn't chew on them either. He just kind of swallows
them. Suck on them.
He sucks on them.
No, we got Vienna beef in Chicago. It's
Vienna
good.
beef hot dogs are really good.
It's right by my house. And
how many hot dogs have you eaten in your life, dude?
I used to I grew up like playing in a restaurant. And across the street was a Taekwondo school, so...
Do you know I didn't know that you actually came from a restaurant family?
No, that's
but because you're Greek.
That's all we do.
So that's racist.
My dad's like the hot dog king.
I have a lot of Greek friends, but yeah. So anyway, I grew up, there was a Greek restaurant in our town. And when I was probably like just starting high school or a little before, they came up with a charity, the Baby Angelo Eye Surgery Fund. Okay, so for some baby in Greece, they needed surgery for his eyes. By the time I finished college, the Baby Angelo Eye Surgery Fund was still out there. And so, like, to this day, you can go on there. Like, Angelo is about 7 years away from his pension, but they still have a way to. I mean, they're still looking for Angelo's eye surgery money.
With me at my gym, a fire moved in a restaurant moved in next door in a strip mall and had a fire and ruined my gym.
Yeah,
so everyone thought like I started the fire. Just because I'm Greek, like they call it Greek lightning.
Yes. I've heard other terms.
I've never heard that.
But I didn't start it. It started in a restaurant. But man, if that would have started in my place, they'd probably put me in trouble.
Would you take a polygraph test on that?
I don't know. They probably got extra.
See?
No, but I wasn't even I wasn't even in the country.
You Greek lightning bastard.
He's evasive.
You're evasive.
He answered another question.
Let's move on. Oh, let's change the subject. Huh? Hey, let's talk jiu-jitsu.
They got this movie called The Irishman, and it came out a couple days with Al Pacino and them, and they're saying there's like some character, Pete the Greek, in there.
Really?
Yeah, he's like someone's bodyguard and he got shot. But yeah, he's not the real one.
Do you ever catch Jeff with WrestleX?
Yeah. Pete taps me all the time.
When we train, like he taps me, I tap him.
Mostly I tap him.
We're not trying to we're trying to hit cool moves. We're not trying to see who can win because
usually I win and it's not fun for Pete.
Yeah, I don't know. It all depends. Like, we both have good half guards, so it's like.
Yeah.
Pete has a strong neck. That's the thing about Pete. His neck is strong.
Before I hurt my neck, I don't think anyone was able to really beat me. I was there with BJ Penn when he beat Matt Hughes. I was a training partner.
Really? Oh, Pete's hard to footlock too. I've had Pete in some really deep, straight footlocks.
That's right. So
his legs are.
Up until it happens, sometimes, you got people in the light and you got people in the shadow. I've been in the shadow, but I'm a good wingman. I was crossing.
His last name? His last name is Let's Hose.
No, it's a Let's Hose, but he calls me Let's Hose.
Let's Hose. Say it.
Let's Hose.
Let's Hose. Pete, Let's Hose do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Then we got Jocko. You call him Jocko's.
Anybody whose name ends with O.
He turns it to Hose.
Like Bernard Hose. Pete Let's Hose. Jock Hose. He's from Chicago Hose.
Who started it up?
He called me up one day. He got all my students. They called me Let's Hose.
His last name is Let's Hose. That's a funny ass last name.
I was just in Greece though. It was Greece was pretty cool, and we were in England, and we had a good time traveling around. And even when I went to Roger Gracie's gym, right away he looks at me. He's like, "Hey Pete, how you doing?" He wrist locks someone. He's like, "The wrist lock king's here." That felt good. I haven't seen Roger. We used to train a lot when he was a brown belt.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool. Roger shows level.
I was the only one that could pass his guard. Me and Gordo. Once in a while, I'd do a real good over/under pass. I have a real good one, and
that's a lie. That is a lie.
Well, now with my neck, it doesn't work because they just push me. No, but I had this one pass when I lived in Brazil. I could beat anybody with it, and once I got to that position, I know I train at Teddy a lot. And once I get in that position, he'd come hit me with a stick. Like, no, you can't get to that position. You need to go to another position that you're not good at.
Somebody was hitting you. Who? What? Who hit you?
They called it Shinai, Teddy.
Oh.
So I'd get to that position, and boom, he'd hit me with the stick.
What's over under?
Yeah, because he didn't want me doing that because he's like, you're already good at that. He's like, you can have like the best guy in the world in that position. You won. Like, you need to go to another position. Okay. And so that was pretty cool training.
Andre was just telling us about training there. I guess Andre was a terror when he was a purple belt.
He was over there, yeah. He was he went to purple belt over there, and so I went and visited. Actually, I had a girlfriend. She lived in Sao Paulo. I'd never been to Sao Paulo before. And Andre had just moved there, and I hadn't seen him in like a year. And I get to Sao Paulo, and I was kind of bored because the girl was working, and I was like with her family, and I'm just like, oh, what do I do? I called Andre on, like, hey, where you at? And I was lucky he was only 2 metro stations away because Sao Paulo is very big. And I was like, oh my God. And so I just go over there and stay there all day. And he'd hit us with the stick. Oh. And that helps you open up the game. You see someone get into one of their real good positions, hit them. Hey, you can't do that no more.
Okay. Let's do it.
That's cool.
DVD.
That is a coaching tactic. So get into the meat of it here. You guys are going to be in rental cars and traveling around and going to different places.
Well, he's got a van.
I got a van.
Oh wow.
We can use my van. It's nice. It's got a bed.
Nice.
Like, he can drive. I sleep. I drive. He sleeps.
So you're going to be in the van. Is it like
well, that'll be West Coast. If we do East Coast,
we got to rent a car.
We'll get a rental. But when we do the West Coast,
I can see a picture of this van at some point. But
it's a 2015 GMC Savannah.
Really?
Yeah, it's nice.
Awesome. You got a bed in it and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice.
But it looks like a work van, so it's cool. Like, no one knows that.
I choose to sleep in there. I don't have to sleep in there. Just
okay.
A lot of people in California have this option. Like, at most of the CrossFit gyms and stuff, people are just like in the parking lot sleeping in the van.
Yeah, we saw that. We were out there.
I feel like rent is a big waste of a lot of money in California. Okay. Especially, I have a good situation where in every city I have friends that will let me, stay at their house, and it's pretty convenient for me to do that.
So you basically have you're loaded up with belongings in this van.
I'll spend 3 days in Ventura, 4 days in San Diego, 3 days in Santa Barbara,
and just
3 days in LA.
And he's got his gym too.
Awesome,
and I go to different places and
girls'
gym.
I have my own gym in Santa Barbara. It's called Goodland. And
awesome, man.
Yeah, it's nice. It kind of runs itself.
So this is like a true jiu-jitsu lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy. I don't complain a lot, except when Pete's around.
You're generally happy guy to be around.
I'm pretty happy guy.
I'll give you that. No. So anyway, you guys are going to be traveling around.
Cruising.
and you're going to be going to different schools. You're going to be meeting the owners. You're going to be giving your own thoughts. You're each going to be showing some moves on it. You're going to be interacting with some of the jiu-jitsu stars in the community. We haven't really nailed all that down yet, but we have some pretty good ideas. And it's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's something the jiu-jitsu community kind of needs.
For sure.
And it's been done before, but we can do it better.
Yeah, we can do it definitely better now.
I think so, too.
Yeah, so.
All right, well, we're excited to have it.
All right, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Glover and the Greek coming soon.
Double G.
Double G.
But guys, so thanks so much for being here with us, Jeff and Pete. And guys, they both have instructional videos with us at bjjfanatics.com, so make sure to check that out. And once again, thanks so much.
Hey, thank you.
Hey,
Us.
bye.
Us.